Brian Wansink, Mindless Eating, Why We Eat More Than We Think. Do you ever wonder why we eat more than we think we do? Are you curious about the subconscious factors that influence our food choices? In Mindless Eating, Why We Eat More Than We Think, author Brian Wansink explores how marketing tactics, restaurant atmospheres, food presentation, social cues, and even our own homes impact our consumption patterns. This book summary will provide a glance into the world of subconscious eating and offer insightful strategies on how we can use this knowledge to mindfully manage our daily food choices and portion sizes. Get ready to discover the hidden influences that shape our eating habits and learn how to harness them for healthier living.
The sneaky ways marketing affects our food choices. Good marketing and branding practices influence our perception of food, even when the quality is the same. An experiment demonstrated that descriptive and fancy menu names made dishes seem better. We prefer brand name products even when taste tests show no difference between them and cheaper brands. Moreover, the ambience, lighting, and music around us affects our eating pace and experience. Eating smarter. Our eating choices can be influenced subconsciously by marketers or our environment. However, we can use our subconscious thinking patterns to eat less by tricking ourselves into thinking we've consumed more calories. We can add low-calorie garnishes to our meals to make them appear large enough to satisfy us, while still ingesting fewer calories. Also, we can change our social and environmental scripts, such as bringing a small serving of popcorn to the movies instead of a whole bag. This helps us stop eating once it's empty. We can take control of our eating habits by understanding our subconscious behavior and counteracting it with smarter choices. The power of plate size. The size of the plate we use plays an enormous role in how much food we consume. Many individuals rely solely on optical cues that can influence the decision of how much they want to eat. Restaurants exploit this by deliberately using large-sized plates to fool customers into thinking they have consumed less and to encourage repeat orders. The larger the portion size we are given, the more we tend to eat, even if we are full. In an experiment, both medium and large buckets of popcorn were provided to the moviegoers, who were given the same large meal, and the catch was that both sizes of the popcorn were deliberately made so big that their portions could not be consumed in totality. However, even though both buckets had too much popcorn, people who had been given the larger bucket ate more of the vile snack. The size of the plate can also affect how full we feel. When the same portion was served on a larger plate, it seemed smaller because of the empty space around the food. Mindful eating. Our eating habits are not determined by our bodies but by social cues, leading to overconsumption, even when we're full. Have you ever stopped eating when you're full? We rely on bodily cues to stop eating, but this does not work when it comes to satiety. It takes about 20 minutes for the body to signal the brain that we've had enough, long after we've already overeaten. Eating quickly only aggravates the problem, as it gives the body no chance to signal the brain. So, what controls our eating habits? Social cues play a significant role. We look to those around us to determine when it's time to stop eating, often relying on the last person at the table to signal the end of the meal. This is why we tend to overconsume, going for multiple servings even when we're already full. Everyone's social cues are different, but they typically follow patterns like the one described. To combat this, try mindful eating. Be the last person to start your meal and eat at a slower pace. By doing this, you'll become more aware of your body's satiety signals, leading to an overall decrease in overconsumption. It's time to take control of our eating habits and start listening to our bodies. Portion sizes and our brains. Our brains are wired to seek out the most convenient sources of food with the most calories, which causes us to overeat, especially when it comes to portion sizes. As supermarkets are filled with large-sized packages, we end up cooking more and consuming more than we should, leading to unhealthy eating habits. Regulating your food intake. Many parents understand the importance of regulating their children's TV watching habits to promote socialization and prevent exposure to inappropriate content. However, regulating the food available in a household is equally important to maintain a healthy lifestyle. To prevent overeating, purchasing food in smaller packages is recommended, as well as dividing family-sized packages into smaller ones upon arrival home. Cooking meals with a variety of foods, including those that are less familiar, can result in a healthier meal environment for families. While it is not necessary for every meal to be entirely healthy, gradually moving towards having a healthier variety of flavors can help families move away from their preference for salty, fatty and sugary foods. By trying new recipes and even enrolling in cooking classes, individuals can take the second step in creating a healthier lifestyle. Making lasting changes to your diet. Making a lasting change to your diet is difficult because diets require radical changes which demand major life changes, making it hard to adhere to. The key to making a lasting change to your diet is opting for modest, incremental changes rather than big, sweeping ones. One example of an incremental strategy is the power of 3 checklists. Additionally, diets often fail because they're too harsh, requiring you to give up the things you love. Instead, think about how you can combat the habits that contribute to weight gain without having to abandon the things you love, such as making food trade-offs. The goal is to make small changes that you can commit to, and motivation will come when you keep making progress towards your goal, no matter how little. The tortoise and hare story reminds us that slow and steady wins the race. Don't push yourself too hard. Don't trust your eyes. Evidence-based eating. As social creatures, humans have learned to rely on social cues and visual evidence to determine when we should stop eating. This is why it's so easy for us to overeat when these cues are absent. In one experiment, patrons at a restaurant unknowingly ate 15 ounces of tomato soup on average because their bowls were continually refilled. They had no visual evidence of how much they had consumed and no social cues to guide them. To prevent mindless overeating, we need to provide ourselves with evidence of how much we've already eaten during a meal. In an experiment, students were given an unlimited supply of chicken wings at a restaurant, but some tables had bowls for the scraps, while others had their scraps cleared away quickly. The group with visible evidence of how much they had eaten, the chicken bones, ate 28% less than the group whose scraps were out of sight and mind. The lesson is not to trust your eyes when it comes to how much you eat. Keep track of how much you've eaten during a meal by using evidence such as bones or by taking note of the number of breadsticks you've consumed. By doing so, you can avoid overeating and prevent yourself from having to be rolled out of a restaurant.
In conclusion, mindless eating brings to light the psychological factors at play behind our food choices and consumption patterns. Wansink demonstrates how marketing, atmosphere, presentation, and numerous social cues shape our minds when it comes to eating more than we think. By becoming aware of these factors, we can adopt healthier habits and adopt small, incremental changes to our daily routines. By utilizing strategies such as keeping evidence of consumption, altering the size and appearance of our meals, changing our eating pace, and making conscious eating choices, we can gain control over our subconscious behaviors to make better food choices and eat mindfully. So, the next time you sit down for a meal, consider the various influences Wansink has highlighted and take charge of your eating habits for a healthier and happier lifestyle.